about your experience pitching and going into these investors. What do you kind of wish they knew when deciding what projects to fund, or what are they missing? What gaps could we fill?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think a lot of investors get caught up or stuck because they get pitched so many times, right? So it's almost a catch 22. Like on the entrepreneur side, if an investor gets to know you as a person and understand your why and understand the research, an investor knows whatever you put on paper is not going to plan. They know that. No matter what you plan, all right, in 6 months, we're going to execute this. We're going to hit this. These are our key metrics. We're going to make these milestones. We're going to hit X amount of users, and then we're going to convert and make sure our churn rate is low. We're going to go through all of that, and you're still going to miss these milestones, right? And I understand why it happens, but I don't like it. But investors don't spend enough time with the founder to understand why I'm really doing this,
Mm.
right? Really understand how I could really do this. And it's a catch 22. I think outside of just the founder and the founder's why, also exploring the market opportunity. I know investors really, it's like a numbers game and metrics and sliding scales and so on and so forth. And it's crazy because you hear about all of these companies that none of that stuff worked for, right? So like, what is the balance for an entrepreneur? Is it, pitching to investors what they want to hear, or do you keep your story consistent? Because if your story is consistent, you're going to get multiple feedback. How do you know to keep that story consistent and what to change? Because people are going to give you different sorts of energy. Some people will jump on a call with you for an hour and not listen, but they'll be there. Some people will jump on for 10 minutes and listen to every single word you said and give you some feedback. So it's things like this where imposter syndrome come up. It's things like this where you start doubting yourself, you're questioning, because we're constantly battling ourselves and people that haven't taken the time to get to know us as entrepreneurs. And my word to any entrepreneur listening or watching this is you have to, absolutely have to be deep rooted in who you are. Your company cannot be who you are. It's what you do. Same thing goes for sports, right? As long as you're okay as an individual in that jersey, once that jersey comes off, you'll be okay. And the
Mm-hmm.
same thing needs to happen in the business world. So I think, taking time to really answer, like, do I want to do this? Because, I'm going to tell you, you're going to hear no way more times than you're going to hear yes, right? Entrepreneurship is 99% idea, 1% execution. And the 1% that execute and make it happen are because they've built patterns and frameworks and they're disciplined, and there's so much structure involved, but they leave room for innovation, which is super important as well. So to answer your question, hopefully I did, but it's tough because I know an investor is probably seeing 20 companies in a day. If you're a founder, you might meet 2 companies a week.
Mm.
How do you become memorable in your
Yeah.
time with that person to make someone say, let's talk again, or send me a note and let's find time? Like, it's
Yeah.
tough.